Okay, got some early birds on. Hello, everyone. We got a couple minutes to go. It is June 15th. I'm going to go ahead and bring the Facebook audience in. Let's do this. We're going live. Let me get confirmation. And I think we should be in good place.
I can't believe we're
Morning,
mid-June
morning.
already.
I know. Hi, everyone. Feel free to type in the chat box where you are located. And our very special guest today would love to know and meet you. Where are they coming from? What's it saying, Kevin?
We've got Harborfront, Toronto. All right. Welcome from Canada as well.
Look at all
Aurora, Oakville from Ontario as well. Ancaster, Minneapolis area, Sicily,
Hey, Andrea.
Italy.
I see my friend Andrea.
Nice. Hamilton, Ottawa.
Yeah.
There's another David Greenspan in the chat.
Another one, eh?
Wow, that's so cool. Yeah.
From Italy, we're stretching far and wide today.
Yeah, look at that.
We have someone from Italy?
Sicily.
Oh, I love it. This is amazing.
We put the word out to a few friends, you know?
Well, I'm glad you did. You absolutely should have. Awesome. Hello, everyone. Come on in. Welcome. Hi, Sue O'Shea, my friend in Connecticut. Hello, everyone. Look at all our good friends from all over the country. Yay.
All over the continent.
Yes, all over the globe at this point.
Yeah, for real, eh?
That's right. Okay, everyone. Welcome to the RE/MAX Business Builder series. It is June 15th. We set this round of Business Builder series up way back in January. And I just kept thinking, oh, June's so far away. But so it's a bittersweet moment, but we're going to go on summer hiatus after this session. I cannot thank all of you enough for tuning in each and every session. We've had some amazing panelists and some incredible topics and a lot of sharing going on. And that's what we love about RE/MAX. It's all entrepreneurs wanting to make each other better. We have a very, very special guest today. I'm so excited for you to meet him, but I'm going to go ahead and ask my teammate, Kevin, to say hello. My name is Michelle Hoyt. I'm Manager of Education and Development for RE/MAX INTEGRA US. And everyone, please meet my teammate, Kevin.
Hi, everyone. Nice to have all of you here. Nice to be a part of this panel. Just like Michelle said, my name is Kevin Vinzon. I'm the brand education manager for RE/MAX INTEGRA for Ontario Atlantic, Canada. So again, thank you so much. Michelle's been so great on having me co-host with her on this Business Builder series, and just super excited to. This is the last one till the fall to sort of, while we have our little bit of a break, and so glad to have Mr. David here with us today. Thanks, Michelle.
Oh, you're very welcome. So welcome one and all, Canada, US, wherever you're coming from. We've got someone from Italy, and a beautiful place I'd love to go to, but welcome RE/MAX, and we're so happy to have you. All right, let's kick this off. Let's meet our very, very special guest today. We have with us the amazing, the one and only David Greenspan. So David, please introduce yourself to the audience. We have people viewing on Facebook Live. We have them on Zoom here. Tell everyone all about you.
Oh boy, I don't know if we got enough time for all that, but no, I'm incredibly excited to be here with you guys today. RE/MAX, what is going on from around the globe? It is so awesome. We are locked and loaded for a real solid hour, maybe hour-ish, maybe a couple hours. Who knows where this thing goes? But no, we're locked and loaded for some good learning today. Very, very excited to be here with you guys. And in fact, you know, I appreciate the opportunity. Just as a quick background for everybody as to where I'm coming from. Well, first, I want to welcome you to Mindshare 101. For those of you that are not familiar with Mindshare 101, we are a high-impact coaching and training company servicing the real estate industry. We've been in the game for, I don't know, 15, 16 years in many different capacities. For those of you that might be familiar with my other company called Kits Keep in Touch Systems. Kits is our whole cross-channel marketing platform. We've got just amazing newsletters and websites and CRM and social media content, email blast stuff. I mean, it is absolutely loaded. But this is where we started about 17 years ago. And what that really did was that gave us the opportunity to work with thousands of agents and speak with thousands more to be able to learn where are the struggles, where are the common challenges of this industry, where are people winning, where are people losing, what can we do to help the industry get better and help every single one of you get better in that place that you yourself need to get better at. And what that did was that afforded us the luxury to, well, get started with, our whole coaching program, which we launched a few years back. And we've been helping a lot of realtors over our time. Currently, we're working with over 2,500 realtors through the variety of either our one-to-one coaching programs, our group training programs, our education programs such as this. There's a lot of folks that we're working with, and well, we look forward to working with you as well. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to bring up our video series for a quick moment here and sort of encourage everybody to tune into this. This series happens every Monday. We've been doing this for 264 Mondays in a row. Now, we're going to talk about consistency today. We will get into that conversation, but here's the idea. The reason this has worked is because of consistency. 264 Mondays in a row, we've never wavered. Now, is it the best? I don't know. We think they're pretty good. But the 3 to 5 minute videos, they're supposed to be sort of a little bit of a jolt of caffeine, a little poke in the forehead, something to get you sparked and get you thinking about, well, how you do your business. So I want to encourage you guys, tune into these. They're great food for the brain. We've also got the Mindshare podcast that we host. Every Wednesday, we go live at 1 p.m. Eastern time. That is broadcast on my Facebook business page. And we have had the very good fortune of having some amazing guests on the show with us, from industry leaders to top producers to visionaries to movers and shakers. You name it. People that are really out there, really sharing a message about what they've done to really grow their world. And it's not necessarily about monetizing things, but it's about having the success that we're all looking for. And so the Mindshare podcast is all about marketing and sales strategies for the real estate industry. Again, live every Wednesday on our Facebook business page, but as well available on iTunes and Spotify and Stitcher and all the major podcast platforms. You can tune in anytime, and I want to encourage you all, and I invite you all to tune into the episodes. I also want to bring this up, and I just sort of threw all this stuff at you about who we are and what we do. And quite frankly, I could talk to you for hours about who we are and what we do, but we're not going to do that today. We're going to get into some wicked learning for you. And one thing that I want to point out, I want to give to you all right now, my little gift to you just for showing up today. I want you to go to the ultimatemarketingbundle.com. Okay. So again, the ultimatemarketingbundle.com. Go there, download this free 31-page ebook. It is packed with marketing, sales, and tips for you. It's got a 90-day social media content calendar. Like I said, it's absolutely free, no strings attached. I just want you all to have this. And as we progress through today's learning, I'm going to bring up a few of the things that are in this, but I want you to have it so that you can actually read through it. You can internalize it, because we put this together for you, and we know that it's going to help you grow your business.
That's awesome. Who doesn't love free stuff? Come on.
There's the idea, and that's exactly what we want to do. Is just sort of start off by today by just say, here you go, take this and enjoy. Yeah. But I'm looking forward to getting into all this stuff with you guys.
Thanks, David. Can you tell us really quick why real estate? What made you choose that path?
It's an interesting question. I actually grew up in this world. My father was a broker owner of an office for the first 20 years of my life. Now, for those of you that have been in the game long enough, if you remember typewriters, you remember MLS, black and white MLS tear sheets, you remember whiteout, we remember the curly Q antenna on top of the car, or maybe the pocket full of quarters and the pager. I remember it all. And Michelle, I remember watching what my father went through. I remember how much time he was spending away from the house, evenings and weekends. I remember my sports, as much as he was incredibly involved. Amazing. He gave me the opportunity to be there. The reality is, because the job, sometimes it took him away from that stuff. But I also remember the agents. And I remember what the agents were doing to win. I also know what the agents are doing to win now. And so that's the beauty of where we're at, is that there's a beautiful blend between the old school and the new school, bringing it all together so that people can achieve more success. So for us, it was just a natural progression into, going to school for marketing, growing up in the world of real estate, starting a marketing company for realtors, which then led us into the opportunity to open up a coaching company. And here we are today, 17 years later, and it's been a blast. They say time flies when you're having fun, doesn't it?
Oh, absolutely it does. Just like I said, I can't believe we started this January 19th and here we are wrapping up this round of Business Builder. All right, Kevin, let's get this kicked off. What else
Sounds
do we want?
good.
What do we
Yes,
want to
thank you,
know from
Michelle.
David? You're welcome.
So before we sort of get into all of this, if this is your first business builder that you're joining with us today, again, feel free to ask questions in our Q&A box there. We will try to address as many as we can. And again, we've got our wonderful David Greenspan here that will be helping us with, of course, answers to those questions if we have them. So let's get into it. Again, this is Business Builder Series, Health and Wellness for Your Business. David, thank you for your introduction and those free stuff, of course. But let's sort of get started into, health and wellness for your business. In order for that to happen, people need to know about your business, right? So just for fun, when someone asks one of our agents what they do for a living, what is a good sort of elevator pitch on who they are and what they do, and sort of how should they be incorporating, being with Remax and what the brand stands for within all of that?
Loaded question. This is all about your swagger. Now, let's not take swagger out of context here, okay? This is not about cockiness. This is not about attitude. This is not about, look at me, I'm the best, I'm a top producer. This is about the confidence that you bring to the table. If somebody says to you, what do you do for a living? Instead of just going, I'm a realtor, because there's lots of realtors out there, shake it up a little bit. Show them that you're creative. Show them you got some style. Show them you got some, some pizzazz in you. Maybe something like, I market amazing properties and I negotiate incredible deals. You go, what? See, are you a realtor? Yeah, but I'm not just any realtor. I work with Remax and I focus on you and your needs. So it's a seamless experience. You see, it's a different way of answering the question, right? Now, for everybody listening, one thing I'm gonna share with everybody right now is that I'm not somebody about scripts, okay? We can teach you what to say. We can teach you how to say it. We can give you the words and think about the right ways. But you and I were not the same. And even the three of us right now talking, we're not the same. And so the way we're going to say something, the delivery mechanism we're going to give to it, and the insinuation through our voice, it's going to be different. The eye contact, the facial expressions, the mannerisms, they're all going to be different. But taking the concept and applying the concept is important, right? We need to be different. We need to be engaging. This is the people business. These are the things that we need to really recognize, right? They need to feel confident with us in their corner. So how do we instill confidence? Again, we come off and we create commonalities. Our role, what is our role? Our role is to negotiate. Our goal is to market. Oftentimes people say, well, I'm there to, help, buy and sell houses. No. You're there to help people buy and sell houses, right? So what we're trying to do here in this first moment, we're trying to put our best foot forward. We're almost trying to stray away from the conversation of what we do. Think about this one, okay? You come up to me and say, Dave, what do you do? I'm like, thanks for asking. And I know today's presentation is a little bit different because you're actually specifically asking me what I do. But let's go somewhere else. You had to get together and you all know what happens. And let's put, current world situations aside for a moment. You had to get together with other people. Somebody maybe you don't know comes up and introduces themselves and just starts to make small talk. Again, what do you do? And maybe you can throw a line like what I just said to you. But what they're doing is they're just looking to make small talk. They're not looking for you to sell them on anything. So when they ask the question, what we want to do is really have the conversation, drop it in there a little bit, then stop talking about what we do, ask them a question back, and try to turn the tables. Make it about them. What are they going to do if you make it about them? If you're the one who starts asking the questions instead of them, they're going to keep answering. Then you can keep the conversation going. Then you find commonalities that have nothing to do with business, whether it's a favorite sports team that you like or something that you do as an extracurricular activity. Find that commonality. You see, once you find that commonality, now you're having a real conversation about stuff. And now you're building on relationship. And we all know something. Where does this business come from? Where does all of our business come from in this business? Relationships. You see, so again, when somebody comes to you with that, look, guys, here, this right here, you guys are with the absolute biggest and most recognized real estate brand in the entire world. That balloon, that pin that you put on your lapel, you can go anywhere in this entire world and nobody is going to question you for what you do for a living. We know there's a lot of companies out there. In fact, there's some that are so fresh and so new that seem to have so much hype that nobody out there knows about. This company, everybody knows about. Everybody's got confidence in this brand name. So when you utilize this brand name in conjunction with your name and you build a relationship with people, you're going to make people believe that they are truly with the best. That's exactly what you're
Yay.
going for. Say it again,
Very
Michelle.
excited. Couldn't have said it better
Well,
myself.
here, I'm going to throw one more thing out there. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
I assume everybody here is on Instagram. I'm
Of
sure.
course.
What I'm going to suggest you do is go to Instagram right now and go to my page. Okay, David Greenspan 101. First of all, click follow. But what I want you to do is I want you to go check out my reels, and I want you to find one of the reels that says, "I bet I can read your mind," because I'm willing to bet I can read every single one of your minds. We're not even together right now, and I don't know who you are, or where you are. We're going to get to know each other. But I want you to go watch that video. Don't watch that one right now. Just go to my page, hit follow, and then go back and watch that. I bet I can read your mind in the reel. When you watch that, that is all about Mindshare, and Mindshare equals market share. That is exactly what happens with Remax. You'll know exactly what I'm talking about when you go there.
Love
Yeah,
it.
I watched that too, David, and it 100%. It was basically everything that I was thinking about. Again, for anyone that's going to watch that later on, you'll definitely know what I'm talking about. But it's a great example of that, right? So,
You
David,
guys fall
thank you.
right into that, Kevin. You know what I mean? You guys
Exactly.
fall right into that.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
awesome. Everyone follow David. What is your handle on Instagram? What
It
is your
is
username?
David Greenspan 101. So David Greenspan 101. And again, don't watch the video yet. You can follow now, but don't watch the video yet. Come back and watch it after.
Yeah, wait till we're done here. Watch stay with us, please. All right. So David, I've got a question for you. So everyone, we've always had a topic for every Business Builder series. The topic today is health and wellness for your business. It's kind of like going to the doctor's appointments, right? When's the last time you had a physical? Well, when's the last time you gave your business a really solid checkup? And David's going to talk about a lot of that today. So David, how would you define what health and wellness is for all of the realtors watching and how they should go about it?
Very simply put, health and wellness of your business is the balance of time. That balance between work and life. Guys, this isn't a 40-hour week work week or job. We're not going to work 9 to 5. We're not, this is all about hunting every single day, right? This is about us making sure that, well, our minds are right, our pockets are right, we're able to pay the bills, but we're also getting that balance again with family, with life. Look, distractions. I mean, think about it. When you really look at it and you say to yourself, okay, so we've got this teeter-totter. And this is exactly what it is every single day. You know it and I know it. And in fact, I just mentioned that with my father growing up in the world of real estate. We've got this teeter-totter every single day that we're on, and we're trying to balance out what we're supposed to be doing and how we're supposed to be making a living and how much time we put into it. And I know, and that phone can go off at any time. And things can come up when we least expect it. You could be sitting down for dinner and all of a sudden have to take a phone call or go back with an email on something. Guys, I get it. But I'm going to say something that when we look at our business, we've got to understand that that balance needs to be at the forefront of everything we do. Because if we're not balancing it, we get to that point now where we sit back and say, and we know it, it's been a very busy market. A lot of people have been pulling their hair out, writing up a ton of offers, maybe not closing on stuff. We're seeing a little bit of a shift in the market now, at least up here north of the border. I'm sensing it down south of the border as well a little bit, where things are taking a little bit longer to move. But it's been busy. It's been a really, really busy first half of the year. So when we look at health, we look at wellness. Are we sleeping enough? Are we eating properly? Are we watching where we're spending so that we're not overworking ourselves and overstressing ourselves? Are we paying attention to what we want to get done in a day versus what the world wants us to get done in a day? Because again, when you look at really what's going on, we got to get up, go to work to make money. We've got life on the other side, which is, whether you got family, you got children, you got, again, your own activities, friends that you want to play, go spend time with. These things are there. But then every single time that we really pay attention to what's going on out there, these distractions hit us, everything goes up in the air. And now we're all frazzled. And we're not locked and loaded to what we need to be doing every single day. Now, if we're not managing time and we're not actually paying attention to what these distractions are and then trying to manage them properly, we're a slave to other people's time. And we end up not doing what we are supposed to be doing to really stay in control of ourselves. So the health and wellness of your business comes down to the balance of time and the effort that we put in to stay on track with what we're trying to accomplish.
That sounds great. What about the financial side of the business? That's a big part of being healthy as well, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely it is.
Yeah.
And that's exactly where I was going there was, when we talk about money, here's the thing, right? Let's go backwards for a moment here. You guys asked me about the background and I brought up kits. What that did for us was that gave us an opportunity to listen and learn. But beyond the listening and learning, I'm just going to go like full bore here. Guys, when we started our business, we still have a whole sales end of our business where we want to earn new clients for sure. But it was a hardcore pitch. It was hardcore sales. And so we'd be always having the conversation with people and people would call up and say, how much? What's your budget? Oh, I don't know. Now, here's where I'm going with this. If you don't know your budget, then asking how much, it really doesn't matter. You've got to figure out your budget first because look, I can paint you a picture in marketing of $25,000 a month. Can you afford it? Dave, that's a lot of money. Exactly. So it doesn't depend how much. It starts by telling what's your budget. And now, Michelle, to that, if we don't know our budget, and I just mentioned this, but now I don't realize that I'm overspending, but I do realize it on my credit card bills and all my other bills that come in every single 30 days. I realize that, and it's stressing me out. So now I'm not really making the money that I want to be making. I'm spending a lot. I don't know what's happening. Now I'm living in chaos. Whereas if I analyze my numbers, and once I analyze those numbers, I know exactly where I'm at. Well, now we can stay on track and know exactly what we need to adjust. In fact, let's look at this for a second. Your discipline to review. Okay. And we're going to go into three places, not just the finances. But one place here, first of all, is your goals. I know there's a lot of people that say, oh, it's a lot of woo woo and fluffy stuff and everything else. And look, let me preface this right now. I was that guy a number of years ago that when people said it's time to set your goals, I'm like, please, just want to make $1 bajillion, take over the world. What it is, set goals, whatever. Let's go. Just work hard and we'll get this stuff. But then you realize it doesn't really work like that. You see, if you don't know where there is, how do you ever get there? You get what I'm saying? It's like if I said to you, come over today, could you come over? And you're probably all thinking, well, yeah, technically I could get in my car or jump on a plane and come over. Sure, you could. One caveat. I didn't give you an address. So how are you ever going to get here? Point is, if I give you the address, now you know where there is. Well, then what happens? We still say, but I never been there, so I really don't know how to get there. So what would you do? Maps, punch it into a map and then follow. Left turn, right turn, go here, go there, and you go. Think about your goals the exact same way when it comes to your business and your life. The goal is the there. The what you do to achieve the goal is your navigation, how you get there. So you see, goals, I'll tell you now, I review my goals every single day. Every day. I want to know what I need to achieve today. I tell my team and they look at it, they're like, how do you do 0.02 deals today? I'm like, exactly, right? That means you got to do one deal this week. Pretty easy. They're like, wow, when you put it that way. So what we've done, so I've taken this big goal of, $1 bajillion and just wanted to take over the world. And I've broken it down from these big lifetimes down to what can I achieve this year in 365 days? From there, what can I achieve in 30 days every single month? Because if I win my month, I win my year. If I win my year, I get close to my big lifetime. Well, then we break that down to weekly and then we go down to daily. So really, I'm reviewing my goals and I want to encourage all of you guys. Start by setting goals so you know where you're going. Then review them every day, every month, and every year so you know exactly where you're headed to. Now, in our coaching programs, we teach like the literal step-by-step to do this. But that's one aspect. The next aspect is your deals. Now, why are we tracking deals? Well, I want to know how much I earned. I want to get a reward or an award. Fine. That aside, the reason we're tracking deals is because we want to know where our business is coming from. See, if we don't track the deals, how do we know where it's coming from? Then how do we know where to spend on our marketing dollars? You see, if I do know where it's coming from and I know exactly everything's coming through referrals, wonderful. I'm going to scale up. I'm going to spend more time, more effort, maybe more money on driving more referrals. Or if I say, hey, I've got this wicked social media presence and like 90% of my business come from social, Cool. I realize that. I'm going to focus there. I'm going to put in more time, more effort, more potentially money, and scale accordingly on social. Maybe I found out that it's coming from a few places. But if we don't track it, you're never really going to know it. And now you're spending your money in places that maybe you're not seeing the ROI. So again, the next thing you're doing from a finance perspective, Michelle, deals. Track every single deal. Where did it come from? What was your role? And you can obviously track your commission because it's always like to know. It's always nice to know.
Of
The third
course.
part, the third part, marketing. Okay, so I talked goals. What do I want to achieve? Deals. Where's my money coming from? Marketing. What am I putting my money into to drive my business? And this is that place again where people think that the more they spend, the more they should be making. Not always, because if you spend in the wrong places, you're not going to be making. You see, so in this is about defining your audience. So know who is your niche audience, both the demographics and the psychographics of who is that avatar of yours. Then there's the marketing, figuring out what is my marketing budget, how much money do I have to spend, and what channels am I going to use. And like I said, I want you to download that ultimate marketing bundle at theultimatemarketingbundle.com because it's going to break down the 7 ways to communicate. It's
Now,
going to break
David,
down
really,
the 2 audiences.
sorry to interrupt really
Yeah, yeah.
quick. There's someone said they clicked on the link and it wasn't going to the right place. So I'm not sure.
Theultimatemarketingbundle.com.
Yes, we actually, Kevin and I both put it in the chat box.
All right.
So if you could have someone check that, we'll make sure we include that in the follow-up too. But yeah, thank you so much,
Well,
David.
Go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin, back over to you.
Yeah, and David, thanks for that as well, because we've sort of got into as well, how often should someone be re-evaluating and sort of how they should be tracking it as well. So I love that we sort of flowed into that very, very seamlessly. I guess that my next question is, especially with what all of us have gone through an extremely, extremely busy time, how does an agent manage their schedule to ensure they're spending time on income producing activities versus, time wasting activities? And sort of what types of prospecting should they be doing during their downtime?
How to manage the schedule is, first of all, manage the schedule. Okay. There's the big difference right there. The question becomes, where do you track it? Right. And so for everybody here right now, think about this. Where do you track your time? Do you use a CRM? Do you use your phone? Do you use a day timer? Do you write it down on a piece of paper? Do you track it at all? So the first thing, Kev, we got to figure out where we're tracking time. Once we determine where we're tracking time so we can get it all done, what we want to do is we want to plan our realistic time. Finally, here in Ontario, baseball diamonds have opened back up. We were allowed to go out there last night with the team, which has been very exciting. But let's call it what it is. Practice was from 6 to 8:30. I'm a coach for baseball as well. We got to get to the diamond by 5:30, which means I left the house by 5. So even though we're on the diamond 6 to 8:30, what time are we really leaving? 5. What time are we getting home? Probably 9. It's just 4 hours right there of what we call realistic time, where it's not realistic that I'm going to be answering my phone or doing phone calls or emails or anything else or social media, right? Prospecting, nothing. So first thing we want to do, because that's why we get up every single day, is to enjoy the finer things in life. Plan your realistic time. The next thing you want to do is you want to plan your predictable days with income producing activities. Okay. So looking ahead in our schedule and saying, when am I doing my follow-ups? When am I doing my prospecting? When am I getting on social media? When am I answering my emails? When am I making my phone calls? When am I meeting with my team? When am I doing my showings? Guys, I realize, and I know it, you wear a ton of hats. So if you don't plug it all in and your schedule doesn't look, and I mean, you don't have to use all these, color codings the way we use them. But our day will always look like this. And then as we plug through the day, and you can see right here in the middle of the screen, reading, which is the absolute first thing we do in the morning, is feed the brain. It's done. It goes gray. Now we get into the next part of our day. What do we have to do? Social. Let's get it done. Boom. When it's done, it goes gray. You see, so Kevin, really what's going on here is we're really managing and looking at something, because we talked about the goals. We talked about where is there. Well, much the same, when you think about that roadmap, here's a great way to sum it up. When you think about that roadmap, your calendar is your roadmap throughout your day. Now, you ask about prospecting. And when we talk about prospecting, I do have to say it. I got to take the opportunity right here to say, you see, you guys say prospecting, or everybody says prospecting. We call it building Mindshare. And quite frankly, there are a few ways that I want to encourage everybody right now to go out and do that. Okay. First, again, that ultimatemarketingbundle.com. I did put the link in the chat. I don't know if anybody's checked that. I'm hoping that is working for you guys. In that, though, it's going to walk you through your two most important audiences, and it's going to break down the 7 different ways to communicate with people. So now you got your 2 audiences, your 7 different ways to communicate with people. Now, what should we really be focusing on? Well, first thing, pick up the phone and call people. Guys, when I'm on this thing, I can be talking to a lot of people at one time. But the minute I'm on a phone call, it's just you and me. And now that is where the real connections come from. That's where you can have a one-to-one conversation where you know it's just the 2 of you. You can, again, find those commonalities, not necessarily have to talk business, get to catch up, and again, build on your relationship. So I want to encourage everybody, if you're not doing it yet, I want you calling 3 to 5 people from your contact list every single day. Just call them and say hi. You don't have to talk business. The next thing I want you guys to be doing, which I know you're doing, but I want you to do it right. Get on social media, but act with purpose on social media. Schedule it accordingly in your calendar. Then when you get on there, have intent. You're going on there to build relationships. That's what our day is all about. Every single day, we're building relationships. So get on there, connect with people, engage with people. Don't just stalk people where you're scrolling by, you're not saying anything to anybody, because that just doesn't make sense. Instead, get involved, click like, comment. Oh, nice puppy. Talk to people. It doesn't mean you have to always post stuff. The bigger thing here is that you're engaging with others. Okay. Do that consistently. Go to any social media platform you're on. And the third thing I'm going to recommend that everybody does is they send a newsletter, both by mail and by email. Why? Because a newsletter is going to deliver that business message. You see the phone call, casual conversation, relationship, social, fun, casual conversation, relationship, newsletter, business. Let it tell people what you are doing, what you got going on out there. Give them some tips. Let them know what's going on in the market. Now we got 3 ways to prospect with people between calling, being on social media, and sending a newsletter that's going to help us build that mindshare with people.
Now, David, I have a question for you about that. I noticed you didn't have direct mail or print or anything, because I know we're living in a digital world, but I don't know about you, but my inbox is just overflowing. And traditionally, open rates on the newsletters is not that great. So when you send something in the mail, it really stands out. So what is your position on direct mail?
I'm going to tell everybody, use direct mail, use it and abuse it. I want you to think about something. I love this question. I'm going to go deep for a second, okay? We got 3 levels of our brain. We got the biggest level, which is called the neocortex. It controls our motor skills. We got the middle part of the brain, which is our limbic system, which controls our emotions. But then what we've got is we've got the reptilian brain, which is the deepest part of our brain, which is also known as the instinctive brain. Now think about that. Instinctive. The instinctive brain is the one that's actually going to make the decisions. So I could look at this and I could say, yeah, I could pick it up and look at it, motor skills. I can read it and see the pretty pictures and go, oh yeah, that looks amazing. But something's still not making me buy. What is it? It's the instinctive brain. Something inside is not making, is stopping me. Well, here's why I bring that up in this moment. You just brought this up too, Michelle. Our inbox are loaded. Our social media is loaded. In fact, where am I when I get your email? Anywhere. What about your social media? Anywhere. What about your phone call? Anywhere. What about visiting your website? Anywhere. Where am I when I receive that piece of direct mail from you? I'm at home. I'm at home. I'm at my mailbox looking at my house. You want to talk about building Mindshare? And we go back to that video I told you all to go check out on Reels. Kevin, what you saw, this is the idea. We're trying to connect ourselves subconsciously in the minds of everybody that knows us, likes us, and trusts us with their house. So that every time they think about their house, they think about us. What is the only form of your marketing that will do that for you? Paper. Now, we also know, Michelle, 76% of millennials actually enjoy receiving paper because they are on overload from E. They also realize how much E is loaded with that spam, scam type of stuff. Paper is actually a bright, shiny object to millennials. So much the same, paper has a lot of space in our world. There's a lot less of that in our mailboxes as well than there is email in our inboxes. So it's a wonderful way to leverage and really get into that brain of everybody.
Great insight. Kevin, did you have anything else on that one before we move on?
No, that was great. And I just love the fact of, just having that physical piece. And it is a great point that, yeah, the only time you're receiving your mail or looking at it is when you're at the comfort of your own home, where, there's probably less distractions, where anywhere else you can be with your phone, on your social media. There's a lot of other things that you'll be distracted by.
I'll say this too. One other thing to add in is and I'm going to do it here for a sec, but with Kits, with our company, the reason why we got into direct mail so many years ago was the fact that we came up with something with variable data publishing. Essentially, it's this: if you're going to send one piece of mail and copy it, say 100 times, send to 100 different people, instead personalize everything about it: the name, the language, the holidays, the pictures, the content, the way we speak to the people. Now every single piece of paper and every single message is unique per contact. Now you got 100 different letters going to 100 different people. Now I know something. Everybody's going, oh man, I'm not going to write a different letter for each person. That's what Kits does. So if anybody's interested, check it out. So
Thank you,
I had to
David.
throw it in there. You brought up the direct mail and go. That's one thing
Yeah.
that we kick butt with for sure.
No, it's good. Sean put in the chat box, newsletter open rate is about 30 to 35%, need that higher. If you're getting 30%, Sean, we want to know what you're doing, because traditionally it's not that high. So let us know what you're doing. He wants to know, what do you send for direct mail?
You're going to put it out in a newsletter. I've got a sample under my desk there, but in an envelope, it's going to have you in it so that people can see you. Now, I mean, look, we've leveraged certain things. Like I'll tell everybody here, if you're going to put a piece of mail in the mail, put a real stamp on it. Make it look like you licked it and stuck it on yourself. It's got a 9 out of 10 open rate. Sean, if you're talking about 30, 35% from email, I'm not sure, but I'm going to say this too. A good email open rate is about 17 to 20%. So buddy, you are kicking ass, which is a great thing. From a direct mail perspective, in terms of open rate, you being visible, me seeing my name when you're sending it to me, and it having a real stamp, you're going to be at least a 9 out of 10 open rate. So that's the type of stuff that you want to send out there in terms of mail.
That's
good on you with that email newsletter open rate, because that's great, man.
I know, I'm impressed, Sean. Actually, send me one, mhoyt@remaxintegra.com. I want to see what you're doing. I'll type it in here in just a sec. So let's take a little bit deeper dive in something that you touched on already, and that's basically how they develop good habits during the busy times and stick to them when it's not so busy. So being consistent with that. Let's break it down by buyers, working with buyers and working with sellers. How do all of the audience watching and everyone that's going to watch this afterwards, right now, like you said, when it's a frenzy and everyone's juggling multiple offers and lots going on, how do they keep those good habits going? Buyers and sellers, we'll break it down.
Let's talk about a habit to begin with, okay? Because I think this is important that we acknowledge this as well. Because we all have habits. Some have a lot of good ones, and some have a lot more bad ones. That's reality. But when we look at it and we say, it is a crazy time, and there just is so much to do, and there's just not enough time. Not a lot of winning going on for a lot of people as well right now. But the only way to manage it is take control of it. So let's look at the 3 steps to a habit for a second here. First of all, you got the trigger. What is causing you to do what you do? I want you to think right now about the habit that you have. Yes, we all have them. No, don't type them into the chat. Might not be good. But think about the habits that you've got, okay? For every single one of us, think about it. Think about that thing that you do. What causes you to do it? Do you even know? I mean, let's go, when we munch on that late night bag of popcorn. I don't know anybody that does that. But when we do that, why does that happen? Well, we're hungry. So what happens is we develop this habit of going to the pantry and grabbing the popcorn. Well, then from there, we basically took action. I got the popcorn. Well, then once I ate the popcorn, what happened? I got my reward. I wasn't that hungry anymore. So you see, every habit has 3 steps. It's got the trigger, it's got the action, got the reward. The trigger was I was hungry. The action is I ate. The reward was I'm no longer hungry and I'm satisfied. Again, good habits, bad habits, they all follow the exact same process. Now, what we need to understand is when we're looking at these things that we have, if it's a good habit that we want to implement, it's going to take time. If it's a bad habit that we want to change, it's going to take time. but we need to put in that effort to make it come to life. And what we need to really, really internalize is that it takes 66 days to create a habit. And guys, this is why most people fail with their goals. This is why most people on January 16th and 17th fall off the wagon. Because right after the holidays, which we should have done this back in November, but right after the holidays, we decide, oh, time to set goals. And then all of a sudden, if the goal thing doesn't work, we go buy a Peloton. Listen, I ain't knocking the Peloton, but it's not the answer to your business troubles. Okay. Straight up. This is about literally mapping out and saying, okay, I know I got stuff to do and I want to bring this to life. And if you want to bring any of it to life or change a habit or implement a new one, you have to put in the effort. And it's not going to be easy. Every day you're going to wake up going, oh man, I got to do this again. Like, eating healthier. I got to eat all this rabbit food and go to the gym and work out. Like, can't I just snap my fingers and make it work? No, you're all laughing at me right now. Obviously it doesn't work like that. Like for some reason I go to the gym. The only thing I walk out with, like in terms of a six pack, is like a six pack of Heineken. It doesn't work like that. The idea here is we've got to put in the effort. And then we got to be consistent about that effort. And guys, consistency is the easiest word to say, but it's like the hardest thing in the world to do because of, again, all those distractions we already talked about. So
Well,
time management comes back to being the be all and end all of all this stuff again, right?
that's fantastic though. And when you said Peloton, I laugh at because then you're out $3,000 and it's you're using it for a clothes hanger.
But here, I want to talk to your buyers and sellers that you asked about for a second.
Yes.
Okay, because I know I went down this little rant about habits, but this is important to really internalize. And I think that this is a source of frustration for many agents is that they kind of don't internalize this statement right here. We homeowners, we don't know what you know. We really don't, but we do know what we want. So as you asked about buyers and sellers, let's break this down real quick here. And again, everybody internalize this one. It always comes down to client experience, right? In tech, we talk about the user experience. What does the app look like? Does it have nice colors? Is it easy to navigate? How many clicks does it take? How does it work? Same thing. Think about your role as client experience, right? You've got to walk them through every step of the process. So here, communication, as imperative as communication is, breaking down for buyers, multiple offers. They don't really know what that means. They don't really know what they should be prepared for. Hell, they don't know how to be prepared to be disappointed. They already bought the house in their head. And all of a sudden you tell them they can't afford it or they didn't get it, even after they offer $200,000 over asking. We have to set these expectations, right? Again, communication. Define with them. Hey, listen, okay, we're working together. We're here. Here is how we operate together. Ask them how they like it. You tell them what you do and see where you find a happy medium. Some people want to be messaged every day. Some people don't want to hear from you every day. Some people only want to hear when you've got something. Some people really want you really hands-on and some people not so much. Determine that with people, right? Figure out what works and then even create a checklist. Here's what to expect throughout the process of working together and from the market. This way, 3 weeks in, when they've lost on 4 different bids and now they're all pissed off and maybe they're pointing fingers at you, you can go, I told you so, without actually having to say, I told you so. Because again, that doesn't lead to the best client experience, but they got this checklist that you gave them off the top. So they go, like, remember that? So again, different ways to mitigate the issues there, right? Same thing with the sellers. When you think about client experience, again, they don't know what they don't know. As we're seeing, a little bit of a market change, but low inventory, sellers stand to make a lot of money. But it also means there's going to be a lot of showings. What's their comfort level with COVID still, right? Prepare them to sign a lot of paperwork. Again, in both cases, communication is absolutely, absolutely imperative. And guys, we got to remember they're relying on us for the biggest purchase or sale of their entire life. We got to make this a good process for them.
Now, David, before we get into the next question, I actually had a follow-up question, just out of curiosity for myself. And some people may want to know as well. When you were talking about habits and sort of what that looks like, the timeline, and you were saying, it takes 66 days to form that habit. What about breaking a habit? If you need to break a habit, is it the same steps? Is it the same timeline? Is it different? What does that look like?
It's a great question. I love that this brought up. And in fact, it's the exact same idea because the breaking of the habit is really you trying to start a new habit. right? So the biggest moment that you've got to figure out is that trigger. Again, think about the habit that you are trying to break. There it is right there. What caused you to do that thing? Guys, I'm going to go right down that road. When we talk about habit, I think one of the biggest things when we say habit, it's synonymous with like smoking, whatever, from a bad habit per se. And forgive me, smokers, you know it's a bad habit, but I know that you like it because, again, trigger, action, reward. You feel good when you do it. But if we want to break it, we got to figure out what happened just before it. What caused us to all of a sudden feel like we needed to have that smoke? And again, I use that as an example, right? What caused us to feel that way? Now, if you think about it right now and you're like, man, because you've been talking too much and I just got to get outside, cool, there's your trigger. So think about it the next time that happens. Is it because somebody was talking too much and you had to get outside? Now, Kevin, and to everybody, you're watching for that moment. What was it? Now you're going to find commonalities between that moment and the next moment and the next moment. You got to monitor this for a little while, right? This could take you a week, 2 weeks to really just figure out what is the trigger. But once you know what that is, now you can mitigate that because you've realized what that moment is that gets you to do and take action. And now you change that moment right there. Do something else instead.
I need your help, David, because I eat chocolate when I'm happy and when I'm sad, and so I need something. I need an intervention on specifically dark
Listen,
chocolate.
Michelle,
Yeah.
that one I can't help you with because I'll be right there with you on the chocolate.
What is it? And like peanut M&Ms, I just can't resist.
Remember that.
Yes, you remember that.
So good. So
Yes.
good.
And for everyone watching, if you have a habit that you're trying to break specific to your business, although we could give you some life advice too, please put it in the chat box. David can help you with that for sure. But yeah, all right, Kevin, I believe it's your turn.
Yeah. So something that is, very uncommon, multiple bidding wars. No, totally kidding. Everyone is going through that.
You almost made me spill my water all my
Everyone is going through multiple bidding wars. What can they do to stay fresh and positive? Because of course, to some agents, it may be the very first time they're dealing with this, and to some, it may be familiar to them, but it is definitely a tough time in this market. What's your advice on that?
Eternalize this one. This is really what it comes down to, guys. Never mind you, we cannot control the market. We cannot control what our competition does, but we fully can control what we do. And that's the first thing we need to really pay attention to. Because yeah, when you're in this market and you're the one who's losing out on a lot of those multiples, you're starting to sort of get into that corner. You're thinking to yourself, why me? Why am I not winning more? And why is Judy down the hall? Why is she kicking ass the way she is, right? Why is it always me? We've got to get all of that out, right? Blinders on, earphones on, and focus on what you do. Guys, I have this conversation often with people. And I'm going to go back a few slides here where I mentioned about making phone calls. I get this question a lot. It's a little bit slow. And I'm going to tell you now, I'm going to ask you, every single one of you here right now watching this, are you making your calls? And if your answer is like, well, no, but no, don't give me the but Stop right there. You're not making your calls, period. You need to be making your phone calls. That right there is going to help you have more control over your success because it's about a relationship business. Now, all that being said, when we're in this moment and we're thinking to ourselves, I'm a little bit down and out, or I need to stay sharp, and we're talking health and wellness today, right? I want you to think about these three areas of your daily life, like these three areas of focus, and write this down. This is important stuff for everybody right now. Okay, this is really, really important. Your first area is mindset. If you are not taking control of your mindset, it is going to be very easy for anybody to knock you down. Once you're knocked down and you're not feeling so good, you start to curl up in a ball. You get a little bit darker, a little bit more, sort of self-loathing without getting out there with people, a lot more introverted. And now we're not excelling. We're not doing the best we possibly can. And look, shit happens, and it happens every single day. But you cannot allow that one thing, whether it was big or small, to take you down. Because I'm willing to bet that if you took one of these things and you started writing stuff down, and you started writing down everything good that happened to you today, I'm grateful for the health, safety, and happiness of my family. I am grateful that I get to be here with you guys today. I'm grateful that the sky is blue today. There's a lot of little things in life that we can find to be grateful for. And if you, and I know this goes back to that whole goal setting thing of like, here's the fluffy stuff again. No. You see, what we're trying to do is take the subconscious and make it conscious. We're trying to bring it to life. And by writing it down and actually saying, this is what I'm grateful for, and you realize there's like 5, 10, 15 things that you wrote down. Well, then, hey, when you got 15 good and you got that one bad, you tell me if it's a good or a bad day. So the first place I want you to focus is your mindset. The next, and we've talked about this, your time management. Imperative. Oh, yeah, it's, but every time this thing goes off, I just got to go. It's really, really tough to manage my time. No, it's not. That's a complete excuse. You can totally structure your time and break it down exactly the right way. And I do this with my clients all the time. And it's amazing the way their life changes and their business changes, the success they have. And the third area, feed your brain. We're really good, eh, Michelle? We're good at eating chocolate and M&Ms and feeding our bellies, and all of us do it, right? We've maybe all had coffee this morning, breakfast, lunch, dinner, maybe a little bit of snacking, late night popcorn, little things like that. We're really good at feeding our bellies. The important thing is that we feed our brain. Every single day, I'm going to encourage every single one of you, take 30 minutes, read, watch a video, tune into a business builder series, go tune into, I don't know, a podcast, maybe the Mindshare podcast. Go feed your brain. If you spend 30 minutes a day for an entire year reading, you're going to average out about 24 books in a year. So again, I ask you, how many books are you reading now? So 3 areas of your life that you want to focus, again, a mindset, time management, and feed your brain. Make reading part of your daily routine. I can't tell you how much that makes you smarter, how much more powerful it makes you, the confidence that exudes for you. Again, when we're feeding this thing, there's a lot more that comes, a lot of good stuff that comes from it.
Here's a follow-up question to that. How do they help keep their clients healthy and well during this multiple bidding war frenzy?
Reassure them that you got it under control. Okay. Prep them accordingly. When I'm going in to buy something, if you don't tell me about this whole idea of like, hey, Dave, don't buy that house till you own the house, right? Because emotionally we will attach ourselves. We'll start to see the granite and the different flooring and the pool in the backyard and all that other stuff. And then all of a sudden, we didn't get it. What do you mean? It's your fault. Okay, we'll get over it. We'll go do another one. And all of a sudden we emotionally buy again. So you see, we have a responsibility to communicate accordingly. Back to what we were asking before, Kev, about the buyers and the sellers and just that communication, that client experience. It's really, really important that we set them up for what's going on. This way we can keep them sharp. And then in that moment, if they do lose, guys, I don't care if you have animosity with the other agent. I don't care if something went wrong. It is not your clients. It's not, they don't need to know that stuff, right? That's our role. Remember, client experience. Don't stress in front of them. Instead, reassure them that you got it under control. Reassure them that you guys are going to do the best. Reassure them that there's a lot more out there. They're leaning on you right now. That is why we are there. It all comes down to communication. It always does.
That's absolutely right. Yeah, set the stage realistically and good. Andrea actually is asking for, hi, Andrea in Minnesota. She'd appreciate some resources for economics and financial books.
Whoo, that's a long list. You know what? Connect with me after because I read a lot of books and I'd have to pull some stuff up for you and look through the library of stuff that I've got to maybe hit on some specifics for you. I read a lot. Like, guys, I'm on to my second book already this month. And we go backwards with the whole thing of goal setting. Literally, part of my goal setting for my year is how many books am I going to read? Yep. So I'm always up against myself, challenging myself. Okay, let's go. I got another one done. So I got lots. Connect me after. Throw me a DM through Insta if you want to, and I will certainly get back to you with a few suggestions.
Yes, we need David's recommended reading list, the book club.
Yeah, it's a long one.
Yeah. So Andrea says she's been reading Ray Dalio, but curious what others are enjoying and finding more valuable. And
yeah, it's a good one. Everybody should throw their suggestions in the chat too. I'd love to know what everybody else is reading as well.
Sure, absolutely. While we're doing that, or while the audience is doing that, let's talk a little bit about technology. and how that can overwhelm you in so many ways. We talked about it a little bit, especially about the direct mail versus digital. That was probably a good segue into this. So talk to everyone about how to overcome that tech overload, and what role does it play? What role should it play in being healthy and well in your business?
Whew, tech overload is, when you say that, the first thing I think about is my kids and the fact that they're all doing virtual schooling right now. And I'm watching them get up in the morning and they watch their cartoons, and then they go and they sit down at their desk and they get onto virtual schooling, and then they're done with school and they get back on the screens. They can connect with their friends and, talk about tech overload. I feel for these young kids. I feel for all the people going through school right now. But look, it's not isolated to them. It certainly includes us as well. And this is where I want to bring up proactive versus reactive. Proactive is us controlling our time. Proactive is us controlling our success. Proactive is us doing the things that we need to do to build our business. Reactive, can you guys hold that thought? My phone just went off. I think it's a Facebook notification. I'm just going to answer it because, it went off. Oh, there's an email too. If you guys hang, I'm just going to answer that too. Oh, there's another email. Oh, the other person responded. See, that's what you call reactive. Me always focusing on what other people want me to do. Now, I'm not saying don't get back to people. I'm not saying ghost. Can we stop this ghosting thing? We all have phones on. Just write the person back and say not interested, or no, or I don't want to talk to you. Stop ghosting. Anyways, little rant. But seriously, proactive versus reactive. The idea there becomes this is you again controlling your time versus other people controlling your time. So, we've talked a lot about managing time today. I think you guys got my idea on that. And I could talk a lot more about that. In fact, that's one of my favorite topics because I believe when you manage your time accordingly, and I'm talking every little thing you need to do, including when you're going to read, when you're going to review your goals, when you're going to post on social and everything else, and when you're going to have lunch, put it all in there. When you have to mow the lawn and go grocery shopping, put it in the schedule. Now you can't be reactive because you've got a schedule to keep. And I know there's a few of you going, yeah, but what if I'm working a deal? You tell me not to respond? No, not at all. If you're in the middle of a deal, you better get back to them. But it's not a deal. And it's not an immediate moment thing that the fire is, going to take over. Take it easy. Stick to your schedule and get back to people when it's time. And in fact, I want to challenge everybody right now. Can I challenge everybody right now, Michelle?
Absolutely.
I want to challenge you guys. Okay. This is my challenge to you. I challenge you to put your phone down. Dave, just put it down. Well, okay. Let's get a little bit more specific here. I want you to take 20 minutes every single night. So starting today, I want you to take 20 minutes today to map out your day for tomorrow. Okay? 20 minutes today, map out what do I have to do tomorrow? Every single thing that we talked about. When are you doing it? Now, before you go to bed, 1 hour before you go to bed, do not touch your phone. Put it down. Go read a book. Go do something else. Stop with the social media. Stop letting the whole big wide world get in your head before you lay your head down at night. Go to bed satisfied. Now, the next day when you wake up, the challenge continues. For the first hour of your morning, do not touch your phone. Oh, what do you mean, man? First thing I do is to check my email and scope social media. So you're letting the whole world get into your head before you even set your mind right? That's not a good start to the day. Instead, keep your phone down on the desk. Don't touch it. Don't listen to anybody else's noise or rhetoric. I want you to go and pick up your book. Read. In fact, my morning routine starts like this. I wake up, I hydrate, drink water. Our body's dehydrated. Water is the solution for everything. Drink water. The next thing I do is I read my book. Once I've done my reading, I check my goals. By that time, I'm 60 minutes into my day. Let me tell you something. Try taking me down now. I haven't let anybody in. I'm not letting you in. I'm not letting anybody in because I'm going to get to myself to that full speed. Think about, professional athletes, right? They don't just step on the ice and start skating a million miles an hour on the baseball, football, whatever, diamond field. No, they warm up first. And when they're done, they cool down. Well, that's exactly how we want to run our day. The warm up is us reading and hydrating and reviewing goals. Then you can pick it up. The cool down is you practicing your gratitude, mapping out your day for tomorrow. Keep it down. That's your challenge right now. This is mindset. Okay. This is the absolute best thing we can do is to turn off technology. I can't stress it enough. This is exactly what probably drives most of us nuts because we're go, 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 go. We're always looking, and life is just passing us by. Tech has changed everything in our world. And as we're attached to every little notification, the idea is that we need to allow ourselves to live in the moment. Take control of it.
In the moment and in real life, IRL is my motto for sure.
Yeah.
So everyone, Sean Hartley sent me an email already. So there you go. While I'm looking at that, Kevin, let's go ahead and start wrapping this up.
Yeah, of course. It looks like we're hitting the hour. So David, sort of our ending question here. What is your best advice to those that are brand new to the business, especially as they come into the real estate market at a time like no other? What's your advice for them?
Doesn't matter what time it is. Who cares? Good market, bad market. Why does that matter? I mean, look, let's be real. Yes, in some areas, limitations are still very real, door knocking and physically getting together with people and whatnot. But look, this is a long game, right? That's exactly what it is. And we need to come into it with the right mindset that if we're in, we're in. We're not just getting, I went to school, I got my license, spent all this money doing it, all this time and all this effort, but I'm just going to try it out. No, you got to be fully invested, right? You are starting a business. You have to give it everything you've got. But know that, yeah, ups and downs are going to happen. And whether the market is up or the market is down, to have success in this business, you want to focus on these three areas, okay? Or these three things. And this goes to everybody. In fact, whether you're new in the business, you've been in the business a long time. The first one here, build your contact list. If you don't have a contact list before you brush your teeth tonight, you better build your contact list. And I'm talking everybody you know, first names, last names, mailing addresses, email addresses, phone numbers, connect with them on social media, know what their favorite sports teams are, know what their interests are. Do they have a dog, a cat, family? What do they have? Understand who your people are. Again, we need to know who our audience is if we want to pull more business from that audience. So build your contact list. And for those of you that say, well, I've only got their email. Cool. Then email them and get that mailing address. Well, what do I need the mailing address for? I'll just email them something. Because you're in real estate. And if you ever want to help them buy and sell real estate, you better know where they live. The next one here is determine your marketing budget. We talked about this off the top. Understand how much money we have to spend will keep us in control of how much money we need to make. You see, when we control how much money we need to make, now we're not out there running like a chicken with our head cut off, completely stressed at all times because we're over budget. And you see, we don't often think about that. Sometimes like, oh my God, yeah, that thing that he's doing, looks like it's working wonderful for him. I'm just going to try it out. But then we try it. We end up spending money on something without really thinking about how much money do we need to bring back to pay for that. And oftentimes we hear, I just don't have the time for it. I'm going to pay somebody else to do it for me. Look, on one hand, delegating, absolutely. And there's a lot of ways and reasons and times we can delegate. But on the other hand, we always got to keep money in mind. If we don't have the money to do it and we delegate that job and we don't bring in the money, now we're going to have to work way harder to make enough money just to pay for that thing that we delegated. So again, recognize what your marketing budget is. And again, this is something that we walk through to the T with our clients. And finally, as we've also talked about, set good habits. And I'm talking habits around how you schedule, time management, right? Habits around how you track. We talked about our goals. We talked about our deal tracker. We talked about marketing and tracking that. Our follow-ups. This is one of the places that's tough, especially in a market like right now where buyers are coming from all over the place. How do we follow up? Hey, again, it comes back to your schedule. You're not going to remember everything. So put it in there. And then there's the term of hunting. And I want everybody to think about this one too. There's a reason that your title includes the words sales. You're not an order taker. We're not sitting there just going, okay, so what can I get you? No, you got to hunt. And we know that even when you get that listing today or that buyer today, I know, and you're always concerned about where's the next one coming from tomorrow. So think about a hunter right now. Does a hunter go out there, set one trap, eat, and not go back and set the traps again until he's hungry or she's hungry? No. They set all sorts of traps, and every single day they go in and they check the traps. And maybe some have food and maybe some don't. And the ones that do, they take the food, they go back to camp, and they eat. But what do they do with those traps that they caught the food from? Do they just let them sit there? No. They go and set them again. Why? Because they want to eat again tomorrow. So you got an option. You can wait until you're like excruciatingly hungry to search for food, or you can be setting traps every single day so there's always more food coming. It's your choice. My suggestion, think like a hunter, because the act of doing is what truly creates the result of having. And in order to get there, again, we talked about building the contact list. We talked about determining the marketing budget, starting with good habits, following up with people. It all comes back to building Mindshare, and Mindshare equals market share. So I just, again, a reminder there, go ahead, make sure you download that book, theultimatemarketingbundle.com. I did put the proper link in the chat. I'm hoping it's working. I don't know if anybody checked that while we've been going off here.
I'm not sure. Hey, David, there's a question from one of our broker owners in New England. Hi, Vicky Kennedy. She's asking, do you recommend spending a certain percentage of your income towards marketing, or what percentage do you recommend going towards marketing?
I love that question. You know what the deeper response to that is, and the more strategic response is, let's review your economics, let's review your finances, let's see what your expenses and your income, figure out where that's coming from, and then we can determine what a marketing budget looks like. Because to hear from people, well, you know, you should spend 10 or 20% of what you're making. People said it many times. I've heard it many times. But I also know there's a lot of people that are overspending, even though they seem like they're making a lot of money. They're completely overspending. And again, that does not do well or bode well for us, even on a personal level. So no, I don't work it off of percentages. I work it off of real deal finances and numbers of what shoes are you standing in.
Love it. All right, everyone. Last call for questions for David. Let us know. Are you struggling with something? What can he help you with? Good habits, bad habits.
And Michelle, while we're waiting for those questions, I just want to mention to everyone, of course, you're going to receive the recording once it's available, but also really, really quickly, let me share this. David has actually created a great PDF and graphic for us of sort of the top 10 takeaways from today's Business Builder. So as well as the recording, all of you will receive this so that it's something that you can always go through at your leisure, save on your phones, your computers, anything like that. So everyone will be receiving this as well.
Yes, thank you so much, David, for putting that together. It's amazing. If you're watching on Facebook and want a copy of that, please email me at mhoyt@remaxintegra.com or Kevin at kvinzon@remaxintegra.com. We'll be happy to share that with you. Okay, any comments or questions? Let's see what's going on. All right, a lot of thank yous, a lot of shout outs. All right, Sue O'Shea is excited. She is at one of our large brokerages in New England, and she is training and recruiting. So she's very excited about that.
Nice.
All right, everyone. And if there's nothing further, let's wrap up the RE/MAX Business Builder series for the summer. And thank you so much for joining us each and every session. My name is Michelle Hoyt. I was proud to be your host for all this series. Thank you so much to David for joining us, spending an hour with us, and sharing all your expertise. Kevin or David, any last words?
Kevin?
For myself, again, I just want to thank you, Michelle, for having me co-host sort of the couple ends of the series here. It was such a pleasure to just be a part of this and to sort of get my face out there as well and my name out there as well. But thank you so much. And it's been an absolute pleasure with yourself, but also with David helping us end off today as well. It's been a great sort of relationship that we've built, David, as well as we've gone. So thanks again for joining us today.
Yeah, I want to echo that as well. Kevin, I thank you. Michelle, I thank you. Everybody that tuned in, thank you for joining us today. I hope you saw it. I hope you got a lot of value out of today's session. I really do. There was a lot of different topics that we covered off. I believe you'll have a recording of this. Go back and watch it again. Take some notes if you didn't. Check out the top 10 takeaways. Really go through those. And look, we at Mindshare 101 are here to help you with anything that you require. Be it on Instagram at David Greenspan 101. Tune into the Mindshare podcast. Watch those videos. Download that book. It's all there for free. Like, take advantage of it. You want to talk further? Reach out to me. Reach out to my team. We're here for you. Again, thank you, everybody, and get out there and build that mind share. Let's do this.
Awesome. Thank you so much, David. Thank you, everyone. Have a fantastic summer. We'll see you again soon. Take care.
Bye, guys.